everybody, and welcome back to another episode. If you are a manager or a business owner, listen up. We're going to be talking about how to have uncomfortable conversations with employees that are not performing in your organization. Chances are, if you own a business or manage some kind of team, you are going to have this conversation at some point. And there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. So let's cut to the chase here. There's a couple things to keep in mind before having an uncomfortable conversation with a non-performer. One is you never want to attack the person. You want to attack the actions. So I might say, Susie, an example of what not to do. Like, Susie, you are a terrible sales acquisition. I mean, look at your performance. You are absolutely horrible, and you need to fix things or you're going to get fired. That's how not to do it, because I'm attacking Susie. I'm attacking the person. Instead, what I might say is, Susie, look at the effort that has been generated from you during the past 2 weeks. I am not seeing the number of calls that you should be making. Your sales are down. We really need to have a discussion right now on what you're going to do to pick things back up. The difference is I attack the actions instead of the person. So that's the number one thing to keep in mind when having uncomfortable conversations. Let's go over the steps involved. Step one is you want to set the tone and establish the intensity immediately. You do not want to, when approaching this person, smile and build rapport and talk about how your day was and kind of pretend everything is okay before changing demeanors. It really can put that person off when you change. In other words, if they walk into your office and it's time to have the conversation, don't smile. Be very stern. Be very direct. Like, look, Susie, the reason you're in here is I want to have a conversation about your sales. Immediately set the tone. Establish that it's very serious. People will change their demeanor based on your tone, and your tone tells them how serious it is. So make sure you set the tone, establish the intensity immediately. Step two, plainly articulate what the problem is. A lot of people think they're going to hurt people's feelings by telling them what's wrong. And what you end up doing is skating around the issue to try to preserve someone's feelings, and you don't get to what the root cause is. And sometimes they just leave being confused. Don't be passive aggressive about what the issue is. Don't leave little notes, and don't make recommendations like, hey, you might want to pick up your sales a little bit. You might want to make a couple more phone calls. You've got to plainly articulate the problem. Susie, I brought you in today because your sales are not where they should be. We need to put you on a plan to get them where they need to be. Step three, decide what the impact is going to be. So, Susie, if we do not get your sales up, it's going to hurt everyone else in the organization, because if everybody performed like your performance right now, nobody would have a job. And it's my job as an owner and manager to make sure that everybody here has a job, because the sales reps pay everybody's salaries. So you need to decide what the impact is going to be and share that with them. You need to be more of a coach, not a cop, right? You're on their side. Hey, I want to work with you to help. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. So you're going to get to the root cause here, and you want to be on their side playing coach and not playing cop. Step four is you want to check for understanding. Ask for feedback. Hey, Susie, is what I'm saying making sense? Reiterate back to me, what you feel like the problem is, right? Ask for feedback from them, because if you don't get feedback, they might be confused by something, and you want to make sure that they walk out of your office and have a very clear understanding, because what can happen is if they continue to not perform and you have another meeting with them, they could say, oh, I didn't know that you meant that last time, or I was confused when you said this. So make sure you're asking for feedback and they understand. Step five is you want to explain the consequences of what will happen if this is not corrected. And we kind of went over this already in describing the impact. In that example, I use, the team not having jobs if the sales reps don't perform. So you've got to be able to explain the consequences of them not performing, not only how it affects them, but how it affects the whole team as well. Step six, explain the next steps. What's going to happen next? Hey, Susie, we're going to put you on a 30-day plan. So in this 30 days, I'm going to be working very vigorously with you to give you all the tools that you need to perform. I'm there for you, and the teammates are there for you. But if after 30 days we're not seeing the inputs, get the outputs that we need, it's time that we started to find another opportunity for you. Be very direct with what the next steps are and what's going to happen. And step 7, safely check. So I really like this. This is a great way to kind of end the call. You say something along the lines of, tonight, go home, think about this conversation. If you feel things were one-sided or unfair, I would greatly appreciate it if you came by my office first thing in the morning. Great way to end the conversation right there. Those are the 7 steps. Step 1 is set the tone and establish the intensity. Step 2, plainly articulate the problem. Step 3, describe the impact. Step 4, check for understanding. Step 5, explain the consequences. Step 6, explain the next steps. And step 7, safely check. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you get value from this, do us a favor, give us some love, throw us 5 stars on the reviews, write us a review. Your reviews are the currency that the algorithm loves to see, and it allows us to bring this message to more great listeners like yourself. We'll see you next time.